Dead Space is a 2008 survival horror game developed by Visceral Games and published by EA. It released on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and it rocked the industry at the time for more reasons than one. Its arrival marked a change, where the industry was stale, developing countless sequels and franchises. Here comes Dead Space, a horrific, bloody gem in a sea of the same old cliches. The plot centres around Isaac Clarke and his team, who is a space engineer tasked with the mission to investigate a missing mining ship, the USG Ishimura. After a distress signal was received, the ragtag team is off to save the day and discover what exactly happened aboard this creepy looking vessel. Isaac is the everyman, your standard chump in a job that he may not even care for all that much. We wouldn't know either, as originally he was never voiced. He was a silent protagonist. We just get the occasional grunt of agreement or painful scream if he's in peril. Anyway, I'm not here to spoil the plot or analyse its narrative, but the basics of the story are as follows. Isaac learns through grotesque misadventures during his time on the Ishimura that an ancient alien marker has mutated the people inhabiting the ship and its surrounding areas. A madcap religion is responsible, known as unitology. They use the ship to find the said marker, and they are ultimately to blame for this dark event unravelling. Obviously for us players, this causes a classic horror adventure of survival that also involves someone close to Isaac, his girlfriend, Nicole Brennan. Yes, he has a personal stake in the dutiful mission, which adds agency to the story in a gripping emotional way, as the focus of Dead Space is as much about environmental storytelling as it is watching cutscenes or cutting off necromorph limbs. Yes, we basically have space zombie lickers to deal with, all while exploring what is essentially a ghost ship in the dark reaches of space, and yeah, if I was Isaac, I would be asking for my P45 right about now. I think every person has that piece of media, that almost forgotten memory or slice of nostalgia that they cling to feel comforted. As a gamer, I'm sure anyone listening to this agrees that we tend to experience this more than any other type of fandom. Dead Space is one of those exact moments in entertainment, the original coming out in 2008 while I was still a teenager full of acne, greasy hair and full of those urges. It was just a weird time for everything. I was also discovering my love for the gothic vibe, horror movies, emo music and sci-fi aesthetic. So imagine a teenage me just minding my own business, watching YouTube, using MSN to talk to my friends, and I am greeted with a fresh recommendation of an eerie trailer featuring a ghostly rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well, I went almost screaming to my parents to get Dead Space at the very next opportunity. Some of the love comes from nostalgia, and it would be blind for me to ignore that. However, there is far more to this sci-fi survival horror than my own love. Others adored it too. I have fond memories of playing this game, with a shared community of fans assuring my taste. An aspect that stood out was being terrified of turning a corner, those random noises behind you, those gory mutations of humans being changed on a genetic level is harrowing to me personally. I love body horror, but I can't quite look at it. It's a weird aspect of my personality, I must admit. In a game where the only safe way to dispatch its enemies was dismembering them, yes, headshots don't matter in a game where limbs are the weak point, and they would never stop coming at you either.
Alright, we call it a draw.
Come, Patsy!
Oh, I see. Running away, eh? You yellow bastard! Come back here and take what's coming to you!
Talk about going against the established formula of horror combat, but hey, it worked. Some people hate gore, clowns or jump scares. For me, it's being trapped in that endless void of eternity. It's being torn limb from limb but somehow surviving. Losing every sense, no sight, no hearing, no feeling but still alive. Or just losing everyone you love and being trapped on your own. Films like The Mist really set home. See that ending, guys. All these are infinitely more terrifying than a swift death. I guess you guys are going to realise just how dark and bizarre some of my thoughts are after this. Oh well, it was about time. In terms of the actual love of its gameplay, yes, I enjoyed everything it offered me. I felt like a heavy built engineer in a Titanic suit fighting for my life. Running to the next oxygen station, gasping for air, and then just getting crushed or exploded after my efforts. It was torturous, but I enjoyed and endured every single second. Let's not forget, details of the story I won't spoil, and experiencing that for the first time was just so tense, full of twists and turns. It was just perfect and what I needed at that time.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
However, there is no retrospective or review here. We aren't here to talk shop. We are here for the remake and its Discord. Remakes are a growing trend, and that is where the money is.
What are your current goals for the remake exactly? How are you going to honor the legacy of Dead Space? Because that is huge shoes to fill. Bar is set high.
Well, it is definitely, and like the team is actually extremely passionate. We're referencing a lot to the original game, having a lot of looks at it, and like I said, by making it relevant, we're looking at different games and what they did, and see how can we bring it back inside Dead Space. So, like one of the example is something that we're trying to do is to have an unbroken experience, to make the game fully seamless. And how can that create an experience where the players even more immersed within the game than was previously the case?
And it's really one of the big objectives that we have for that game is that from even before the start screen till the end of the game, the rolling credits, to never have any break of experience, to have that full and uninterrupted sequence shot. And so that, of course, has a lot of impact on what we're building. And just starting with how the Ishimura and the structure of the game is built, because we don't want any cut. So there should be no loading. How the full ship should be walkable from end to end seamlessly, etc. There's a lot of elements that start to unfold when you start to think the game through that lens.
I suppose a remake was inevitable given the current trend and climate of the gaming industry. Every company is spewing out their old catalogue like a cheap OnlyFans membership. Well, except for Naughty Dog, they want full price for a paint job. As a fan of that series, that remake irks me in ways I did not know a game could.
I ain't got time for this.
Anyway, like Joel said, moving on. We live in an age of endless creativity, yet reviving old titles is becoming more and more common as time goes on. I mean, just now we have a slew of remakes that have released and are due out soon. To name a few, we've got Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Destroy All Humans, Resident Evil 2, 3 and 4, Final Fantasy VII Part 1, with 2 more parts to come over the next decade most likely. It doesn't end there though, we have Nintendo remaking Pokemon games for the Switch and 3DS. Then we have the controversy surrounding a remake being compared to a remaster, and what is that in terms of difference? With the recent release of The Last of Us Part 1, this got especially heated. And just recently we got rumours of Horizon Zero Dawn being remade, which is just ridiculous for a 5-year-old game. So seeing Dead Space amongst these, I was skeptical but curious. It is a 14-year-old game and dated in many ways. Over all remakes we could ask for, I am personally dying for a Dino Crisis return, but for now I will settle for a space horror I adored in my teenage years. With all this talk of Dead Space, we are best to probably check what exactly this remake is including, eh? Well, first off, we have an enhanced visual system and highly detailed textures. Everything is just incredible infidelity, it seems. Every time I see Isaac's suit, I feel I can taste the metal tang on my tongue. It's just so shiny and copper-like. I don't know why that's my reaction, okay, I guess I'm just odd. Lighting and atmosphere have been expanded to make everything more realistic, immersive and horrifying. Blood splatters littering the corridors, flickering lights dotted around, volumetric lighting and smoke seem to just breathe more ease into the game. There's probably way more technical stuff I'm missing, but look, what I'm trying to say here is it looks impressive and it looks damn good overall.
Good. It's good. It's good.
Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
And there we have it, 1 year on from the Dead Space remake. And looking back, I mean, we got a technical achievement of a game, an insanely good remake of an insanely good original game. And while I don't agree with all the creative decisions and some of the things that happen in the game, all in all, I was really happy with this remake. And it was followed by Resident Evil 4 not long after that, which was another incredible remake. I mean, personally, I do have a preference for Resident Evil 4 remake now, but recently replaying Dead Space on the channel, I am coming to have more of appreciation for that, which was inspired by the original Resident Evil 4. It's all loops, ladies and gents. But yeah, the visual fidelity, the performance, the atmosphere, everything was brilliant about this game. And looking back, I'm really looking forward to maybe a Dead Space 2 remake, definitely a 3 remake, or whether they're going to ignore all that and just do a 4th game. Motive can clearly be trusted with the Dead Space IP, that's for sure. And also, the Callisto Protocol that the original devs went to, yeah, that didn't work out, did it? So the less said about that, the better. I loved pretty much every facet about this game too, so yeah, that's everything for this video, guys. I just wanted to look back on this game and, yeah, round up on my thoughts about it. Like I said, I'm currently actually replaying this on the channel, and you'll see the live stream videos after, so if you want to watch a playthrough, come ahead, drop by one of the streams, or drop a comment on one of the videos. If you enjoyed this video, let me know with a comment down below. There's plenty more future content to come on the channel. I'm still finding my feet with Void Retro. You know, my name is John, I used to have a previous channel, and we'll go from there. And there's plenty more to come, like I said. So I'll see you around.